Craig here for another edition of Make America Healthy Again. I'm with my friend Jeremias of Paws Path. Hey, Jan.
Hey, Craig. How are you?
Pretty good. Jan is an animal health and wellness counselor specializing in dogs and cats, and we're going to talk a little bit today about pain management in dogs and cats. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, I figured it was a good topic.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's something that it seems obvious, but it hadn't considered it. So, and again, as we've talked about before, they face pretty much the same issues, I guess, that we face, except they're on all fours and we're erect. Is that pretty much the case?
Yes, that is. I mean, the same things, stuff that comes from aging, from being overweight, things like that, obesity, which obviously an obese animal is going to have more stress on the joints. I mean, certain breeds are more prone to certain kinds of conditions like hip dysplasia or spinal problems, things like that. But pretty much, you have dogs with disc problems and dogs that have accidents and become injured. Lately, I've been hearing a lot about dogs with ACL tears. Mm-hmm. Not unlike us,
So would it be safe to say that if there's transference between us and our pets, if a Major League Baseball pitcher has a problem with their rotator cuff, you might find the same thing in their shepherd?
Oh, that I don't know, but it would be a good study, I think. Yeah, it would be interesting to find that out. Yeah.
So what are you seeing and how are you working with people with pets with pain management?
Well, I think the most things I see is, depending on, I work with a number of animals that are differentially abled. So that means they have some sort of physical, what we might label, but, some sort of physical issue that requires them to have, compromised part of the body. Like, let's say they don't have legs, so they're using just, a number, 3 paws or 2 paws or 2 legs. Or they might have some sort of spinal atrophy or disc problem. And so lately I've been seeing a lot of dogs with those issues. I don't see as many cats. I see a lot of cats with more like arthritic conditions, things like that. I would assume partly because dogs, not to say that cats can't get into things, but most of the people I know who have cats have indoor cats. So I think they're less likely to have some sort of trauma. They tend to be fast and good and steady on their feet, things like that. So that's what I'm seeing a lot of lately.
Right. So with arthritic conditions, I guess they're inflammatory related.
Yes.
Same with humans, right? I mean, and I guess with humans, a lot of that is stress related. Would it also have a stress component as a cause with a pet?
Yes, I think it absolutely would, because I think stress is a huge issue with animals just like us. I think that, they respond to our stress. The other day on Facebook, I posted an acupressure chart on dogs of certain key points that are really good at reducing anxiety. And then actually recommended a diffuser combination to sort of go along with that. So if you're diffusing for your animal and doing those acupressure points, hopefully you can calm them down a little bit. But they are so responsive to us. And then obviously you have breeds that are more prone to anxiety or very high strung. And then also, we, based on not only us, but based on their background and their history and where they came from and things like that, which I think is a huge contributory factor. In a lot of those cases, I think massage for multiple reasons, I think massage is really beneficial for arthritic conditions anyway, not only because of the stress component, but because of the mobility and the circulation and things like that.
Yeah. Some of these things that, we know intellectually, but we may forget about sensitivity of pets. For instance, a report recently came out about noise pollution and how much anxiety it produces in human beings. In fact, since the onset of the Industrial Revolution, how much more just anxiety and stress how it impacts, and they've been able to measure it now in Germany to see on human beings and on children how it affects their health and their learning capabilities. And for instance, we just took a day yesterday. We went out into the Everglades, and it was, we just noticed how quiet it is,
Right.
and how that impacts on us. But remembering that pets are so much more sensitive, right, to those sounds. And we need to remember that things that we think that we're used to, like the passing train or the plane overhead, are probably perpetually producing, because the pets can't intellectualize it the way we can, right?
That's right. And it was interesting because I was away. Oh, sorry, the dog's barking.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I mean, I was away last week, but my neighbor called me to tell me they were they're repaving my street. So she said that it was so loud when they were redoing the curbs that the cats hid for like 2 days. And so that would be hard on anyone. Yeah. But I think even and then we have those extreme, cases where things like, like you said, like thunderstorms, or which, I think animals are sensitive for multiple reasons, because I think energetically they feel it, but their hearing is so much better than ours. The other thing is like 4th of July fireworks, which, are fireworks depending on the time of year, because some people, some places they don't like them only on July 4th. So then they also have to be exposed to those sounds, which I think are very anxiety causing. And then you have the whole inflammation contribution for something like arthritis, which, just like us, feeding a really good quality diet, high quality diet, is going to, I think, make a huge difference. Recently I read it was a listing of like the top 10 worst dog foods and cat foods to feed your animal. And when I'm not going to put in names, and I think I posted it, but one of the interesting things was like the worst food, the first or second ingredient was corn syrup. And I was like, why would you ever want to put corn syrup in pet food? So, just like us, I think they're exposed to poor diet, which is causing them a lot of inflammation.
Yeah. Well, look at the so-called organic packaged foods on the shelf for humans. And they're all, it's hard to find things that don't have added, albeit organic sugar, but sugar added. We went looking at one of the main brands, store brands, organic, certified organic peanut butter, and it was just like Skippy. It was just like an organic version of Skippy. So
that was my first experience, actually, when I remembered sugar being so like I had stopped, I went, I guess, and I had bought another brand of peanut butter, that exact thing. And I was like, why does this taste so different? And I ate it a while and then went back to the old brand, and it was like, tasted so sweet. And I was like, why is it so sweet? And then I looked, because like the second ingredient was sugar. Yeah. And I was like, why do you need sugar in peanut butter? And that's a good example to bring up, because a lot of people do give peanut butter to their dogs as a treat. It's a great way to, give them pills or to reward them for something. Mm-hmm. So to me, if I'm not saying don't use peanut butter, because I, give my dog peanut butter on occasion for different things if I need to give them a pill, but I don't need to use it with sugar. Like I can buy organic peanut butter that has no sugar.
Yeah. So besides acupressure, as far as treatment, what about as far as essential oils and other treatments that you can give pets?
Yeah, I think that I'm a huge advocate of acupuncture and chiropractic and water therapy. Not that I know ones all over the country, but I do know some in certain areas, and it's so amazing to me. And there are a number of vets now that actually practice that, what I would call almost PT for pets, but it's really not called PT. It's called rehab in pets and animals. And I think it's amazing because the progress you see is phenomenal. Partly probably because their brain doesn't get in the way. Mm-hmm. They don't sit there and analyze whether they're going to recover or they're not going to recover. They just do it. And, so it is amazing. And now I've started doing something I call a doggy touch massage, which is the application of essential oils on the spine for dogs and cats, different oils. and they're diluted, but it's a really great way to bring the body back into homeostasis and balance. And a number of those oils are anti-inflammatory. Some are, supportive to the immune system. Others are just relaxing and calming. And so it's a really great overall, I want to say, treatment or overall thing that you can actually learn to do yourself if you'd like to. I mean, I've now been going around the country doing classes on this technique. And I do it if people are local to New York, New Jersey, I can come and do it on their animal.
Sure.
And the results are phenomenal. It's so nice to see a dog that's, or a cat that's completely like chilled, like really like blissed out.
So this is great news, I'm sure, for anybody who's got a pet suffering with pain and doesn't want to go through a medical pharmacology route of just giving them a pain pill, because I'm sure there's all the same complications as giving humans pain pills as giving pet pain pills. So people can, if they don't live local to you, can work with you online over Skype or any other kind of chat application. So, and you do work with people probably all over the world. So people can go to your website, they can find out how to contact you, and they can find out specifically what these combinations, what these treatments are.
Yeah, I think the thing that's been driving me lately, and I had this conversation with a friend of mine, and I guess because I have 5 new clients now within the past month, all dogs with cancer. And I said to my friend, I said, it really makes me so sad because I wish people would come to me prior to these, to extreme circumstances. And I guess my attitude is obviously diet is really good as a preventative. And so you get your animal on a really great high quality diet when they're young. So hopefully that decreases inflammation as they age. But if you have a breed that's very prone to a specific thing, you might want to start to address more of like that whole customized approach. Like if you have a dog that's susceptible to, hip dysplasia, or if you have a cat that, certain breeds of cats are susceptible to certain things, allergies or respiratory issues, then maybe you start addressing some of those issues before they sort of pop up. Because, at that point, not to say obviously you're going to help them and hopefully they'll recover, but, why put them through all of that? Plus yourself, the stress and the expense.
Sure. Got it. Great. So I'll make sure that the link to your website is with the video as usual. And we look forward to speaking again next month about another interesting topic about holistic ways of dealing with your dogs and cats.
Oh, thank you so much, Craig. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.